everybody, it's Redhead Boo here. Welcome back to my channel. As you know, it's Friday, so it's my release day, week, whatever, yeah. So today's video is not a Disney one because I've done so many Disney videos the past few weeks, but don't get me wrong, love doing them, but I thought because obviously because of COVID, usually this time of year or it would be leading up to concerts or either meeting celebrities, so I thought that I would do a video similar to my top 10 concert video. So I don't know how long this one will be, it might be quite long, and I'm going to pop the link to the previous video in the description box, because this is going to be a top 10 celebrity meet and greet video, because I've been so lucky to meet so many celebrities, and I just thought rank them all into a top 10 and then speak about them, why I loved them, things like that. So yeah, I'm going to get started. So at number 10, this is a really weird one, but it's meeting the Chuckle Brothers because ever since I was a child I loved watching Chucklevision on TV, on CBBC, every Saturday morning. I was a huge fan of them, and we had a caravan at a holiday park in Caton Bay near Scarborough, and occasionally they'd get people from the TV to come and do some entertainment during the school holidays, and we found out that the Chuckle Brothers were going, I think it was 2017, yeah, 2017 in July or August, and me and my mum were like, let's book, let's go see them, because we both love them. So we went. The show was really funny, it was amazing, and after you could have a photograph with them and meet them. Well, anyway, before we actually got there, my mum, let's just say, was a bit drunk. Yeah, she'd had a few alcoholic drinks before, and Barry, R.I.P., he's not with us anymore sadly, he was stood outside the show bar fire exit and he was having a cigarette. So my mum, being drunk, sees him and shouts, "Barry, hi!" And then he looked at us and said, "Oh, hello." And then we did meet them, and it was really cool, and we got a selfie with them, and that was my claim to fame. I loved them, and I have seen Paul since, which was amazing, but yeah, this meet and greet was just really cute, and obviously because I have the photo now, it can make me reminisce about it, and yeah, it was a special meet and greet, that one, because it was free, didn't cost anything, so yeah, it was great. In at number 9 is the Neon Jungle album signing. So this album signing I went to was at Gateshead Metro Centre in HMV, and the girls were there doing an album signing. I knew about it, of course, and I don't know why I went all the way to Newcastle, but it was really cool. I'd never met them before, but previously I'd seen them at North East Live a few months before that, and they were epic. I had the lanyard on, and there's a bit of a funny story to this. When we were walking around the shopping centre, we were going to Starbucks, I think, for a drink, because I'd picked up the CD, picked up the wristband, and I just happened to see, I'm trying to remember their names, 2 members of them stood outside Starbucks, and I was like, and there was no security with them at all. It was just literally them two walking around, and I was like, I want to go meet them before the signing. So I did. I went over to them, and I was like, hi, I don't want to sound rude, but would I be able to get a quick photo and with you two? And they were like, oh yeah, of course you can. And they got a photo with me, and they saw that I'd got the album, so I was coming to the signing later, and I mentioned that I'd seen them at North East Live and I thought they were amazing and I loved the album, and they were like really happy. And then I went into Starbucks, and then I looked outside again and Jess was there, but quite a few people were like surrounding her, and I didn't want to like go out and carry on like bombarding her with people, so I was like, no, I'm just gonna wait because I'll meet her anyway later on. So I did, and I went to the signing, and they actually performed a few songs for us as well, which was so cool. I met all of them. They were all so nice. The two members I'd met remembered me, which was lovely. Jess was super nice, loved her. And Shireen and me and her just chatted about Scotland, because I told her that I was going to Scotland for a holiday with my family. And we just chatted for like 5 minutes. Love Shireen, love her. So yeah, that signing was amazing and will always have a special place in my heart. And the album is still epic. Okay, so number 8 was the Ollie Murs radio tour for You Don't Know Love. It was in, I believe it was in 2016. Or was it 2017? I don't know, I can't remember. But I'd waited so long to see Ollie Murs and like meet him. I mean, I'd seen him in concerts before, but I just never thought I'd meet him ever. And then he posted on Instagram, I think it was, that he was doing a radio tour, and I was like, I really want to go. And there was one for Leeds at Capital FM, and I was like, I've never been to Capital FM at Leeds before. I'd done Radio Air previously for Little Mix, but I'd never done Capital FM. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go to the Capital one, and I'm going to meet him. And I did. And it was amazing, like so worth the like wait and everything. And he oh god, when his tour bus, what do you call it? He had like a minivan which was like promoting his new single, and it pulled up literally opposite me. So he like walked out of it and I cheered. I was like, woo, Ollie! And then he like smiled at me and looked at me. I was like, hi. And then he went in, did his interview, and then came out and met everyone. And my dad, who was with me at the time, said that he wanted a selfie with him as well. So he was like, how do you take a selfie? So I literally had to like explain it, and it got to him meeting me, and it was the best. Like, it was rushed, but I knew it was going to be rushed anyway, so I didn't really mind. And I was like, hi Ollie, and he noticed that I had a tour top on, so we got chatting about me seeing him in Leeds, but we were quite high up. And I promised him that next time he toured, I'd try and get closer, and I did, so that was good. It was amazing. And I said to him, like, really shyly, would I be allowed a hug? And he was like, of course you would, darling. And then he gave me the biggest hug ever, and I was like, oh, this is epic. And then he moved on to the next person, who happened to be my dad. And then my dad took a selfie with Ollie and he was like, "Oh, Ollie, this is for my street cred." And I was like, "Oh no." And then I think Ollie heard me and he was like, "You're not with him, are you?" I was like, "No." And then he walked off to the next person and I was just like, that was the best. And then someone messaged me and said that my photo was on Facebook because the media had taken a photo of me taking a selfie with Ollie. And it was so good. I was like, oh, yes. But I loved Rat Signing so much. Signing, radio tour, I don't know. I'd love to meet him again when we're allowed. Okay, so there's a bit of a running theme here. So the next, at number 7, is another radio tour. And it was Max George, who, because I love The Wanted, like, I've loved The Wanted now since 2012. I'm not gonna lie, don't want to say this in case any of them are watching, but I wasn't always the biggest fan of them. And then Ripley Castle happened and I was a bit like, I do sort of want to go, but I don't. And my dad messaged my sister and was like, because she was a massive fan of them at the time, and my dad went, "This band called The Wanted are coming to Ripley Castle, do you want to," and tickets are like available now and they're like £15. So I remember, or literally went to school the next day, everyone was talking about it. And 2 of my best friends were like, "Lucy, we need to go." And I was like, yeah, but I'm not a big fan of them. So I was a bit like, you know what? I just said, in the end, I was just like, you know what? I will go. And that was like my first ever concert. And I'm so glad I went because it was so much fun. I loved it. Like, the boys were amazing. And that's where I like fell in love with Max, fell in love with them, fell in love with Lawson, and just, I think I just fell in love with like Heart Vacancy. And like to this day that song's just, that was the song that made me realise maybe I do like them. So Max George announced that he was doing a radio tour for Barcelona for this song, and I was like, I want to go, because I'd never met any of them, and then I was like, I really want to meet Max because he's my favourite, I love him, he's epic, he's great. And I remember that I saw that York was on there, and I didn't know there was a radio station at York, so I was a bit like, okay. So my mum and sister said, we can go, and well, they wanted to go into York, so my mum said my sister would go into York and then we'd go over to the radio station, meet Max, and then head to the park and ride and go to York. And I was just like, oh my god, it's actually gonna happen. And this one's a bit weird because like I was the only person who went and met him that day, and I don't understand how it got to the fact that it was just me. So I was very nervous, extremely nervous. I was like, oh no, because like any other celebrity I was absolutely fine, but for some reason Max just made me very nervous, and I was a bit like, I don't know if I can do this. And he turned up in his car. He got out of it and he was literally running to the radio station. So I was a bit like, he's late, he's going to get told off. So I was like, I was a bit umming and ahhing about whether or not to wait outside the radio station or wait in the car because it was such a warm day. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait in the car. And he did the interview and I nearly missed him because he literally came out and I was like, Mum was like, he's there, go. So I got out the car and he looked at me and I think he gathered, yeah, you're a fan, let's go meet her. And I went over and he was like, hi, nice to see you. And I was like, hi. And he gave me like the biggest hug ever, and it was a really nice hug, really nice. And he was just chatting to me for ages, and it was so nice. And he literally hugged me like 4 times, I swear, and he was so lovely. Like, he was amazing. I fell in love with him. I fell in love with him even more than I am already. Like, can't talk. He was amazing. And he was literally like, the next time I tour will probably be around like September, October time. So I promised him that I'd go see him, but I haven't, because obviously we can't. So hopefully he tours and I could go see him with my friends, because my friends like him as well. Not as much as me, obviously. But yeah. And then I got a cameo of him a few days after. Was it like a day after? A few days after that, and he was just like, I think he said something along the lines of, thank you so much for coming to see me in York. It meant a lot. And it meant a lot to me. Like, I don't think he realised how happy I was after that. Like, I just couldn't stop smiling. I was so happy. Yeah, loved him. He was great. Okay. So the next one, at number 6, is the Union J doll signing. What year was that? I think that was like April 2014. And I'm trying to think if that was the first celebrity. Yeah, I think it was. And that was like the very first signing I ever went to. Yeah. I don't know. And they were just epic. And I remember I found out about it, and again went all the way to Newcastle, and I don't know why. It was such a long day. Like, that queue was horrendous. Honestly, it was awful. Literally in it for like 5 hours, 6 hours, I don't know. But I was like, ugh, I can't be bothered with this. But it was worth it in the end, very much worth it. And it was really good, obviously, because it was my first ever signing. And I'd made them, oh god, this was when I literally made presents for every celebrity I met. Now I'm just like, no way. I made them like cookies, I think, or was it chocolate? One of the two, in like a little bag for each of them. It was just so cringe. I look back at that now and I'm like, why did I do that? Oh god. And it was in Phoenix in Newcastle, for like big department store. And I remember I was so nervous, like unbelievably nervous. And it got to meeting them. It got to me getting behind like there was one of these like black curtain things. I don't know. It was weird, but it was really good. And god. I can't talk today. What's going on with me? I think that George was the first one. Yeah. So George was the first member in the order. Yeah. And he looked nice. He was very nice. George was always lovely. And I gave him the present. He was very thankful. He signed my doll. I think I got Jamie. I don't know. I can't remember. Or was it J? No, it wasn't JJ. It was Jamie. I don't know. I met George. Lovely, lovely person. I miss George a lot. I haven't seen him in years. And it was very nice. He was very chatty, which I think, in a way, having George first did calm me down a lot. And then I met JJ after that. And at the time it was weird because he wasn't my favourite. I think, was it Jamie? I think it was Jamie who was my favourite. And JJ was lovely, really, really nice. He always is. He's a nice man. Don't know why I did that then. We were just chatting, and he's lovely. What is going on? And I asked him for a hug. Oh God! And this was like one of the most awkward hugs ever, because I don't know why I did it. Looking back now, I don't know why, but I patted him on the back. Don't know. But he was lovely, and then from then on, he did become my favourite member. And then I met Josh, who was lovely, and he was the one who was signing everyone's name on the box. And I still have the box to this day. I've never thrown it away. And he drew like a love heart on after my name, and it didn't really look like a love heart. It was funny, and Jamie was next to him, and he literally got into like a heated conversation saying that it didn't look like a love heart. He said it looked, what was it? I think he said he looked like a bum. I don't know. And I was a bit like, And then they got me involved, and they were like, what do you think? What does it look like? And I was just like, don't get me involved. And it was such a good sign in that one. I loved it. It was quite an early morning because we had to travel all the way to Newcastle, but it was worth it. And I was very, very happy with meeting them, and it was great. I'll never forget that signing ever. Okay, so this one's a bit of a running theme as well. So, don't know why that one's there and not there. I don't know. Okay, so the next one, at number 5, was JJ Hamblett. So there's a bit of a running theme here. And it was when I saw him at a pantomime in Blackpool in 2018? I don't know. I think it was 2018. And he was so good in it. So good. And I remember I'd contacted like the director of the show on Instagram, and because I wanted to try and meet him before, like in between the shows, because the one we went to was the last one of that day, so they had one in like matinee and then at the end of the day. So I was like, I really want to meet him before and have a chat, because like, yeah, it was before this. He got to know me so well, like, because there was an app called Very, and you could like video call with celebrities, and I used to do it all the time with JJ, and we literally like talked so often, and then like every time we met, it was a case of like remembering each other and stuff, and it was lovely. And that's why that one made the list, because it was so special. Like once a celebrity gets to know you, it's like in a way they don't forget you, and it's just it's great. It makes you feel so good. It really does. And he made me feel so good that day. Yeah, so I met him before the show, but it was freezing cold. It was January, it was blustering gales, it was so windy. We had to go to a pound shop to buy gloves, it was that cold. And it was just, it wasn't pleasant, not gonna lie. It was fun though. And he came out, and I went inside, but I like stood by the door, so if he came out I could just go stand outside. So he came out of the stage door, and I came out the door as well, and he was walking over to two girls. I don't know if he heard me or ever, and I stepped outside the door, saw me, came over, chatted, it was really nice, really pleasant, had a photo, and then went over to get tea in Nando's. He liked my tweet, as always. And then I think we walked to try and get a photo of the Blackpool Tower, and we came back and I heard someone shouting my name, and I was like, who's that? And then I turned around and it was him and the girl Olivia who played Cinderella. I was like, oh, hi. And then we went in, got a drink. I was tempted to get alcohol, but I didn't. Wish I did now. And then after the show, went back out to the stage door and met him again, and it was a very nice chat. Then on the way home he tweeted me saying it was nice to see me. It was just very special. So that meet and greet was very, very, very special. Another JJ Hamblett one. So in at number 4 was meeting JJ at Safari Nights at Yorkshire Wildlife Park. 2017? I think? No. Wasn't it 2018? I swear that was 2018. I don't know. Was it? Or was it 2017? I don't know. JJ, help. But it was very good again. And again, I didn't expect, it was another like in the moment thing. But I remember I told him that I was going to see him on the video call, and he was like, I'll try and come out to the car park area and meet people. And I completely forgot, and then I think I'd gone to the toilet and come back, and there was like loads of people were at this gate thing, and I walked up to it, and I saw that Jamie and his boyfriend were there, and I was like, okay, so I'll just stand here, had a chat with Jamie, had a photo, was nice, and then I went, and then JJ's car drove round, and he got out, and I was like almost stood opposite, I think, and he came, stepped out his car and was like, hi Lucy, so I said hi back, and then he went along the line, got to me and chatted, and he was asking how the journey was and everything, and it was lovely, really nice, and he was just super, super lovely, as he always was. Like, he never will not be nice, because he's very special, still is one of like my favourite people of all time. And he was lovely, like great to see him. But yeah, and it was a lovely concert as well. And like Yorkshire Wildlife Park, if you watch my channel, you know I love vlogging there and everything, and it was just really, really nice to see him, because thanks to Corona and other stuff, like I haven't been able to see, well, any celebrities or like go to concerts and stuff, which is rubbish, because Like, I miss concerts and meeting celebrities and going on holiday so much. So yeah, it's not nice, not pleasant. Okay, so now we're moving in to the top 3. So in at number 3 is my Little Mix. Well, this one's not really a meet and greet. Well, it sort of was, in a way. It's my... So basically, it wasn't really a meet and greet. It was more like an experience. But I'm going to include it anyway because it's very special, this, to me. So basically, I entered the Get Weird tour competition for Leeds and somehow managed to win. And, well, the original prize was dancing on stage with the girls to Weird People, but that didn't go ahead due to health and safety reasons, and I was like, what's my other prize going to be? And then Sony contacted me on the Tuesday of the week that the show was on, and they said, "Hi Lucy, just to let you know, your additional prize has been sorted and it's going to be an invitation for you and a +1 to attend the Little Mix soundcheck party." And I was like, what? Because like, before then, I'd never done soundcheck before. I'd never won like a competition like that. So I was like, okay. So it got to the day and I was so nervous, and got to the arena, got to box office, and they said someone will come collect you and take you like to a room. And they took us to a room, and their tour manager came out to see me and just said, "Hi Lucy, I've come to collect you and take you round to the stage. But just to let you know, unfortunately, due to the fact that it's only going to be you and your +1 at the sound check, you're not allowed to take photos or videos." And I was like, it's only going to be me and my +1? No one else? Okay. And then he went away to make sure the girls are ready for me. He came back and said, okay, they're ready for you now, come through. And he took me round to the stage, and oh my god, I was like, not expecting them all to be stood there waiting for me. And I looked around, walked around, and Jessie was there. And I was like, oh my god. And I was just like, hi. Waving at them. She waved at me because she was the first one who saw me. And then I walked around to the front of the stage, stood at barrier. They were all chatting to me, which was so lovely. And they were all asking me like how excited I was for the show. If I had any questions for them. I'd only prepared one question though. Like, looking back now, I wish I would have prepared a lot more. But it was so good, and I'd got them a present to like say thank you for choosing me as the winner. I'd wrote them a special little fan letter, and then got them some chocolates because I knew they all loved chocolate. And Perry was the one who was speaking to me the most, which I was very happy about because she is my favourite, not gonna lie. But I mean, I love all the girls, of course I do, and I'll always support Jessie as well. And they were just lovely. Jade asked me what my favourite song from Get Weird was, and I said Adidas, because it is, because it's great. And I said that Leanne's rap was my favourite part of the whole song, and she was very happy about that, bless her. And it was just so special, like, they treated me so well, and they just made me feel so calm and collected, which was lovely of them, and I missed them a lot. Like, I'm meant to be seeing them this year, don't think I will be. But yeah, they were lovely, and they even performed 2 songs for me. So they did The End and they did Weird People, had a bit of a boogie to Weird People, had a bit of interaction going on with Perry. as all of my concerts front row have been, most interactions have been from Perry or Leanne. But yeah, I just miss it a lot. Okay, so the next one at number 2. Now this signing was so good, and out of all the signings I've done, even like out of the Vamps, Little Mix, whatever I've done, this one will always be my favourite. And it's the Nathan Sykes album signing in 2016 in November. So, oh actually, when I mentioned that Max had been the only wanted member I'd met, I was wrong, because I forgot I met Nathan. Now Nathan, he's not gonna lie, I loved Nathan. Like out of all of the boys, Nathan, Tom and Max for me were just my favourites. Loved them. And again, I heard about Nathan doing an album signing, and I was like, I really want to go. And I had to persuade my mum a lot, and she was just like, you know what, let's go, because it's late night shopping, you can just go to HMV, we'll do shopping and then meet up after. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Again, it was quite a long queue, but the thing is, it was long because Nathan was like spending so much time with everyone. It was literally like a 5-minute chat, even a bit longer, and it was just so special, and it was great. And I remember there was a few people in front of me, and he came over to me and a few other people and said, look, I'm really sorry I'm taking long, I just want to chat to everyone for as long as possible. And I was like, oh, and it was so cute. And I was like, I think I said to him, don't apologise, because most celebrities don't spend a long time with a fan, so just, you don't need to apologise. And then it got to me meeting him, and I was so excited because I was like, I can't wait to talk about everything. And he was chatting to his tour manager, I think, and then I just went over to him, gave him the biggest hug in the world, and he was like, oh, hello, how are you? And I was like, oh, I'm fine, thank you. And we chatted about, and I said how amazing he was on X Factor, because he'd been on X Factor the night before, yeah. And I was like, I'm loving the album, and he asked me what my favourite song was, and I think I said I'll Remember You, and it still is that one. And I was like, I saw you at Little Mix Get Weird tour, I thought you were amazing, because he was the support act, and I'd seen him at Summertime Ball as well, so I was literally talking to him like how many times I'd seen him, how amazing he was, because he is amazing. I love Nathan. I'm very excited for any new music to do with him. And he was just like loving everything I was wearing. He was like, oh my god, Harry Potter top. We chatted about Harry Potter. He said he loved my Doc Martens, loved my jeans, and I was like, stop. And the photo that his manager took of us is such a cute photo. I love it. It was proper like arm around me, and I was like, oh, I miss that signing so much. Like, that's one signing I'm never ever gonna forget. So we're moving on to the last meet and greet, and it's 2, but it's of the same experience, sort of. So it's the Vamps VIPs. So the last 2 VIPs were just so special, because Sheffield was like my first ever VIP with the Vamps, my first ever meet and greet. The boys were lovely, as always, and as always, I was bricking it. And I believe that the order went Tristan, Connor, Brad and then James. And I went up to Tristan, hugged Tristan, chatted to him, went up to Connor. He could see I was so nervous, so he gave me a massive hug and chatted to me to calm me down. And I'll always remember the fact that the security guard, I said to them, I'm not ready for this. And then they were like, just remember, at the end of the day, they are just normal people. And I was like, you know what? You're right. And then I went up to Brad, hugged him and had a little chat. It was lovely, as always. He always is lovely. And then went up to James, hugged James, chatted to him, and James is just like one of the most calming people in the world, and he was amazing, as always. They were all lovely, they always are. And like, I just had the best time, and our photos were just amazing. Like, we did the normal cute arm around each other one, and I was wearing this lol you're not Connor ball top, and Connor actually pointed to it in the photo, which I love. And then I decided on a James Bond style pose, which was really cute. Will always be like my go-to pose with them, always. Love it. And then the Harrogate one will just always have such a special place in my heart, because that was my home show, okay? Harrogate is literally like 10 minutes away from me, and when they announced they were going to Harrogate, I was so surprised. I was like, someone's actually coming to Harrogate? And then obviously they announced they were doing VIP for that date, and we got it, which was so easy, and I was very grateful. And I remember that day, obviously we were like, is Connor going to be there or not, because of his incident with his arm. And I was so scared, because I was like, please let him be there. He was my favourite, still is to this day, love him. And yeah, it was just so nice, that VIP. And I remember, like, oh, I also forgot, me and my friend, well, actually, I was the first person in Harrogate to meet them. The first. Like, I always said I'd love to be the first person to meet them. Never expected it to be in my hometown either, like that. So that's why them two VIPs made the top spot, made the #1 spot. Like, they'll always have such a special place in my heart. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I did. Please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. Turn on the little bell, you'll be notified every time I post, which will be every Friday from now on. And yeah, this is Redhead Boo signing off. Bye everyone! Mwah!